The star map child, once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between silver hills and the forest that sang in the wind, lived a child named Elen. She had no memory of her parents, no stories of her beginnings. The only clue to her past was a small silver locket, always worn close to her heart. Inside the locket was no picture, but instead a map of stars, etched in a pattern that didn't match any known constellation. Every night, Elen would lie on the grass outside the orphanage and stare at the sky, wondering, who am I really? Where did I come from? She had asked the headmistress 100 times, but the answer was always the same. You were found near the river, wrapped in a blanket, wearing that locket. No note, no name, but Elen had dreams. Dreams of 2 warm voices calling her name, of a song sung under moonlight, and of a woman with gentle hands tracing the stars in the sky. She was certain they were not just dreams. They were memories. On the eve of her 10th birthday, something strange happened. As Elen sat by the river under the stars, the locket around her neck began to glow softly. She opened it, and for the first time the stars on the map began to move, forming a new pattern that pointed northeast, toward the mysterious forest of echoes. The villagers feared the forest. They whispered tales of people entering and never returning, of trees that whispered your secrets and shadows that followed you home. But Ellen's heart beat with a new rhythm, one of hope. This is the path, she whispered. The stars are leading me to them. She packed a small bag with bread, a canteen of water, and the locket. With one last glance at the orphanage, she stepped into the darkness beneath the trees. The forest was alive with sounds Elen had never heard before. Leaves that rustled even when there was no wind. Stones that hummed when stepped on, and birds that sang in voices that almost sounded like speech. After walking for hours, Elen encountered her first guide, a fox made of fireflies. Its body shimmered like starlight, and its eyes were full of knowing. Are you lost, child of stars? It asked without moving its mouth. I'm looking for my parents, Elen replied. The fox nodded. Then follow me. If your heart is brave. For days, Elen followed the fox deeper into the forest. She crossed a river that told riddles instead of roaring, walked past trees that showed her memories when touched, and met a sleeping dragon whose dreams filled the air with glowing pictures. At night, the fox would rest by her side, and the locket would glow faintly, keeping her warm. And every time Elen looked at the star map, it had changed. The stars guiding her like lanterns on a journey across time. On the 7th day, Elen came upon a strange hill that glowed under the moonlight. At its top stood a tree without leaves, yet it shone with golden bark and branches that reached the stars. Beneath it stood 2 figures, a woman with silver hair and a man with kind, deep eyes. As Elen approached, her locket began to hum. So did theirs. Each wore a matching star map around their necks. The woman gasped, tears already in her eyes. The man whispered, "Is it really?" "You." Elen stood frozen. The wind hushed. Even the forest held its breath. The woman stepped forward and knelt. "Elen," she said softly, "my little star. We've searched for you across the worlds." The man continued, "The night you were taken from us, we carved this map. We followed it through time and space, through dreams and echoes. But the magic is strange. It separated us. We were lost in the folds of the forest, until now." Elen ran into their arms, and the sky above burst into a million falling stars. That night, under the golden tree, they shared stories of how her parents were star makers, beings who could read the universe through constellations. They had been hunted for their gift and hid Elen away to protect her. The forest had scattered them into different timelines, but the locket kept their connection alive. By choosing to follow the stars and not fear the dark, Elen had broken the spell. In the weeks that followed, Elen stayed in the forest with her family. She learned the language of the trees, the songs of the stars, and the secrets her heart had always known. And when she finally returned to the village, no longer alone, the villagers gathered in wonder. The girl with the star map had found her truth.